You're at St. James Church. What do you do there? What's your ministry? How long have you been serving there?
So I head up the youth ministry at St. James, and this year is my 10th year full-time at St. James. Enjoying it, love working with teens.
The idea that you are made in the image of God, Genesis chapter 1, and that you have been redeemed into the image of Christ, Romans, how's that impacted you? How does it meant for you as a Christian?
I think in my own thinking through some of these things, identity and race and all that, I think the danger sometimes is to start with me and put me at the center of a narrative when actually it should be God. So remembering that I'm made in the image of God and that He's redeeming me to look more and more like His Son Jesus, just how, reorientates me and keeps me looking in the right direction in terms of knowing that I'm living for someone bigger and better than myself. Not to say that you want to make the answer flippant, it's all about Jesus. But I think for me, just having that direction helps me then to engage with these topics in a better way.
The gospel's about making us more like Jesus in His image. How do you think that helps you, for example, in the church, how that would bring us together as a church and impact us as a church? But also, how do you think that'll help impact in our society and be beneficial to a society, this message?
I think in discussing it with our teens, we live in a culture and a society that's so eye-driven. Right. Just think about the names of our technology, the iPad, the iPhone, you're taking selfies. So especially for younger people, they come to these things and they want to discuss these issues, but they do it from their standpoint first. So it's like I said in that first answer, is trying to get them to understand actually we want to be starting with God, and we want to be starting with the purpose that God has created us for, to make us more like Jesus, but also bring us into a community. So I think the way it helps us in church and at youth groups is actually to move us away from this I live for me and my individualistic kind of thinking, but actually living for Christ, which is much bigger, and then seeing that how that gets played out in community. So that for me is a big thing when I'm chatting to young people, listening well, and then trying to get them to shift and go, well, don't start there with you, let's start with God and see what His plan is for us. And hopefully into society as well, if we can move away from me, I reckon we can tackle things and chat about things much better if there's a bigger picture in play.
What's been some of the challenges you faced trying to disciple people from all these different backgrounds?
Yeah. I think the danger for us and the challenge is not to be okay with that's what we had, that's what God's blessed us with. And from the outside you look and you see, oh, multicultural, tick the box. Right. Because it's very easy, and we still notice it, that you can be multicultural but still stick with the people that you're comfortable with or look like you or know. So the challenge is to really move, for me in my case, the teenagers past just we look different, but actually to engage and love each other and really build a community, and not just have it on paper that we got colored kids, black kids, white kids, but actually fostering genuine friendships and genuine community. And that's hard. It takes time, it takes patience. So I think that's our challenge, to not just be okay with we got it, but to actually work hard and make sure that is happening on the ground and not just to tick a box.
Just thinking about the things you've trying to address these challenges, what things worked for you, what things didn't work for you, what things have you learned from this experience?
Sure. One of the things that I really had to learn over the years, and it's something I try and do and we try and do as a leadership, is to be intentional about the leaders we choose. I think for people to see community and if that's what you want to achieve, it's got to be modeled. So I think from church leadership structures, you got to have diversity, and specifically me, I intentionally try and choose leaders that are different, not just in skin color, but socioeconomic backgrounds, because you want to model that to my teenagers. I want them to see a leadership team working well together and see us laughing together, see us crying together, see us having fun together, and not just doing it, like I said, for the sake of ticking a box. We have to model it as leaders. Otherwise, our people will just think we talk. We do it as application in a sermon, but we don't even see it in our own church. So I think we fail our people when that happens, and so we want to try and model that from the top up so that people can see it.